What's up guys, it's tonight. I am going to be doing a at-home waxing video. In this video we're going to be doing underarms because my underarms need to be waxed. I know how to wax at home, so I'm going to help you out if you've been thinking about doing the same. So stay tuned. Alright, so here is my wax pot. I got this from Amazon and I'm using the mermaid wax. So I have two different colors. They're in like these little bead forms. And the wax pot comes with these little pores and you just pour the wax in. Make sure you pour a decent amount because it will melt down. You don't need a whole bunch of wax when you're doing your underarms. And I'm just showing you guys the cleanser, the aloe soothing serum that you're going to put on your skin after you wax, and also the oil. And then here's just a close-up of me stirring the wax. I have one side of this wax pot turned on. You can have both sides turned on at the same time or just one. And you want to make sure that you are working with clean hands. So just take a minute and wash your hands. And then we're going to get right into the wax to make sure that the wax is a good consistency. So as you can see, it's very, very like droopy and drippy. You want it to be kind of thick, like, you know, pancake batter or honey. You know, you want it to be a thicker consistency. It's not going to be as hot as well. So you want to take the Satin Smooth Cleanser and you want to get a cotton round. If you have a rag at home, you can use a rag. But we're just going to take, you know, 2 squirts or so of this cleanser, and you want to clean the area. You can also take a paper towel and just dry the area after you clean it, because you don't want the area to be moist. You just want to make sure you clean it. And I did put on some spray deodorant, so I'm going to take a dry cotton round and just tap dry the area. Now the next step you want to do is, a lot of people, well, I can't even say a lot, but some waxers may or may not do this, but I think a lot of them do, including myself, is you put powder on after this step and then we're ready to wax. Alright, so grab some powder. I have regular baby powder. Taking another cotton round. You can put this on a paper towel. Don't use a lot, and powder gets messy, gets all over the place, and I have on black pants. This is probably going to get all on me, but just dab the area and powder. I'm just going to do both underarms. And let me show you what the wax consistency should be like. You want it to be thick, kind of like syrup. If it's running like like water, it's going to be too thin, it's going to be hot. You want it to be a thicker consistency. Alright, so let's get into this wax. I just picked up some of the wax and we are going to test it on our skin just to make sure that it is not too hot. What you can do is, if your wax is still runny, take the top of the wax pot off and just let the top be open. That'll thicken up the wax and cool it down. Or you can increase your AC in your room or in your house, and that'll thicken up the wax and cool it down as well. Or you can add a tad bit more wax beads, stir it in, and that'll thicken it up as well. But leave the top off so it can cool. So you don't want it to be hot. Trust me, it'll burn. Alright, so now that we know that our wax isn't too hot, we're just going to jump right in and we are going to wax our underarms. So let me show you guys about how much wax you should get from the pot and how to apply it and then pulling it off. Alright, here's how you pick up wax out of your pot. It's literally just like scooping up a scoop of ice cream, and then you constantly twirl the stick. Practice constantly turning the stick. Now once you have your wax on your wax stick and you're ready to apply, you need to pay attention to the direction of hair growth that you have. My underarm hair grows up, so the first strip I'm going to lay is going up. If your hair grows downward, then you're going to lay that first strip down. If it grows to the side, you're going to lay it to the side. So that first wax strip that you're going to lay needs to go in the direction of hair growth that you have. Alright, so I have my wax strip. You always want to constantly turn your hand. This prevents the wax from spilling. So I'm starting from the bottom, placing the wax on, then I'm going to push up, and I'm going to create a little tab at the top. ready to go. And we're good. So the wax dries within seconds, but you can do a little touch. It's already set pretty much. A trick that I like to do, if I had gloves on, I would wipe the excess wax off of this, but you can use, if you can't pull it with your fingers, I can with this one. As you can see, the flap is already there for me to get a grip. You can use this and just do a little pull, and that'll create a little tab for you to lift off of. But now, since this is set, this is probably going to be the hardest part for you to do, is pulling it off on your own. When you're in a wax salon, somebody's just going to rip it off and you're not even going to be able to think twice about it. And that's it. So you're going to grab your little lip tab. You can do a little slight pull to make sure you got a good grip. When you're doing this on yourself, I'm going to throw this out. When somebody's doing this on you, they're going to pull back your skin and then rip with the other hand. So when I'm doing this on myself, I try to tuck my skin a little bit as much as I can, and then I'm just going to pull it off and then apply pressure. And that's pretty much it. Okay, it's gonna feel like a very light sting, but the underarms are a more sensitive area, but it's doable. Okay, it's not like we're doing a Brazilian here. All right. So you can do underarms. This was all the hair I got in that one pass. It's so cool to watch. Like, I don't know, if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you're not. But this is what it's looking like, and your hair is going to grow back in so much slower. So just in the first strip alone, you can already see a huge difference. I do have some straggly hairs left, like if you want to compare from one arm to the other. I do have some straggly hairs left, so that's why the second strip is known as the cleanup strip, and we're going to be going in the opposite direction, and it's to get any leftover hairs. You may have to tweeze out stubborn ones if they're not coming up with the wax, but usually that second cleanup strip will get everything else that's left. Alright, so here I am again with another thing of wax. So now we're going in the opposite direction. So I'm going from the top this time, and I'm going to be pushing down. Sorry, I'm kind of looking in the mirror at the same time, you guys. And you want to kind of create a lip at the bottom where you're going to be pulling. This lip I kind of created sucked a little bit, so if you want to add more wax, you can always grab a tiny bit of wax and create a new lip. I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that right now. So I grabbed about this much wax, very, very tiny, and we're just going to focus on the bottom, and I'm just creating a lip. So now I have, you know, something a little neater, a little cleaner to grab when I'm ready to pull up. This top part's already set. We're just gonna give it another second for the new little layer of wax I just added to set. Then you should be good to go. All right, this is already set. So you can take the back of this stick, and I'm gonna show you guys, just see that, just lifted it up so you have a little tab to pull. A trick I use. Ooh. So that little trick created this little lift. So that's a trick I use all the time. And always make sure to use a new wax stick every time you dip it in your wax pot. I know this wax pot is just going to be for personal use and only you're going to use it, but it's always best to practice good sanitation no matter what. All right, so now this is where I can't really stretch my skin and pull at the same time. So basically I'm just going to lift it up and rip it off and then apply pressure. That's it. So even on this strip, I got a couple extra hairs that were straggling. Throw it away. And now my underarm is good to go. Do the other underarm off camera, I'll let you guys just watch it sped up. But now you're gonna take the Aloe Satin Smooth. Now this is gonna cool down the area. You can just do a pump of it, and it feels so good on the skin. Aloe in general is so good on the skin. So you're just gonna put that over the area, and I'm telling you, a nice cooling aloe based product after a wax feels amazing. Okay, my underarm feels great right now after just having the hair follicles be pulled from the root. You want to make sure you're adding this, and then you just top it off then you just top it off with the oil on the skin as well. This removes any wax residue on the skin. So just do a little pump. I'm just going to use the same little cotton round because it's just me. If you're doing this on clients, use a new one every time, of course. And just dap a little of that on. And then you're good to go. And now I'm going to do the other underarm because I can't have one like this and one like that. It's going to be a little harder doing the opposite arm because I'm not a lefty. So yeah. And that was just gonna lift up. All right, so this is practically dry. I'm gonna use my little trick I like to do. Pull at it, it creates a tab. And then I can't really hold my skin. I'm gonna hold it as best as I can taut. So then I can grab this and then you just pull it off and pressure. I kind of felt that one. And got some hairs there. The biggest tip I can give you is, like, it's gonna be nerve-wracking to pull the wax strip off if you're doing it by yourself. You just gotta pull it and pull it fast. Like, you can't hesitate because then you're just creating more anxiety and more like fear. You just gotta pull it and that's it. So now we're gonna do the cleanup strip on this underarm and put on some aloe and oil and we'll be good. Always turn that stick. All right, it's just harder to do this with my left hand, so I'm gonna have to apply this really fast. I'm gonna add a little more wax to this one to make sure I get the whole area. Since I'm using my left hand to do this one, it's not gonna be as smooth of a process for me to do this underarm. But either way, it'll get done. All right, I'm gonna let this sit another minute because I just added more wax. I'm gonna use my trick to pull a little, get me a little tab under here because it's a little broken. It's not fully connected. It's a really crappy lip that I created down here. But I'm just gonna use my little trick to get me a little pull going there. This wax sets so fast, literally in seconds. You're like able to pull it, which is awesome. I like this wax a lot. This is my second time using it, and I've used it on my fiance as well, and I like it a lot. All right, now we're just going to pull it really fast. Sometimes that can happen. If that happens, hold your skin taut down. I wish I could use both hands, but I would hold this down and use my other hand to pull it off, and then you just rip it up, and that's it. Sometimes I go a little too light with pulling it. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta pull it fast. And I got a lot of hairs on this one, so the left arm is definitely harder for me to get. And I actually need to do another pass because I still have some straggly hair. So we're gonna do one more pass. Alright, got the other one nice, clear, and clean. I'm just going to put some aloe under this arm. A little pump, you don't need a whole lot. And then I'm going to put a little oil on here. Just a dab, very, very small amount of oil. And my underarms are back. They're back, they're back, they're clean, they're good. So that is how you wax at home. The biggest tip I can give you is when you're putting on the wax, take your time. If it's your first time, you know, grab a smaller amount. Like, don't put a whole glob on there. You can always add on more. And when you're ready to pull, make sure you create a good tab or use the trick I showed you with the wax stick and pull fast and then apply pressure. Don't sit there and like half pull, and it's just gonna be a mess, you know. So pull fast, and I hope this video helps you guys. Another tip, after you wax any part of your body, you need to make sure that you're using an exfoliant. So yeah, I definitely would recommend a chemical exfoliant versus like a sugar scrub or something like that. You want to get something that's glycolic acid, or whether it's a BHA or AHA, but you want to definitely get something that has hydrating chemicals in it along with an exfoliant. So make sure you are exfoliating even your underarms. Do not neglect exfoliating your underarms because you don't want to get any ingrown hairs. All right. And once you wax, the main difference between waxing and shaving is when you're waxing, you're pulling the hair out from the roots. So that means that your hair is going to take a lot longer for it to go through the several layers of the skin. There's like 5 layers in the top layer of your skin already. It's going to take a long time for that hair to go through all those layers and start to poke out through your skin and show you that it has grown back. Versus shaving, you're basically just shaving the hair off right at the skin layer. So it just grows right back. But when you're taking it from the root underneath the layer of the skin, it has to go all the way through and then it starts to show. So yeah, and you know, waxing is just better than shaving skin wise. Like, you'll notice a difference. As long as you're exfoliating so you prevent those ingrown hairs, you'll see a difference, and you'll love that it takes a longer time for your hair to grow back. Even with my underarms, like when I would nair my underarms, I used to nair all the time, my hair would start to poke back out in like a few days. But when you're waxing, you can, like for me right now, I'm getting a week. And then the more you do it, the slower your hair grows back in, and the thinner your hair grows back in as well. So the more consistent I am with this, I'll probably get 2, 3 to 4 weeks, you know, that I'm doing it over and over again. So I hope this video helps you guys, and I will see you in the next one. I will be doing a leg tutorial, how to wax your legs. So stay tuned for that and subscribe to the channel. Bye.